Welcome back to K&L Farms, and if you've been following my channel, then you know the need for that 6x6, which we're going to work on here in just a little bit. But I had two subscribers left comments, which I really appreciate. But one was, why is it taking you so long? So we're going to go down the journey of how I got that to sit on those two horses. That was one of the comments, and the other comment is, well, I can't follow along because you're jumping too far ahead, and I apologize for that because I just assume, naively, I assume that everybody has done the same thing I've done, which is not the case. But and Martin the barn cat. I don't know if I could apologize for Martin, but I'm in his house. I'm in the big barn, and this is kind of his house. He lives here, and he just wanted to come and say hello. And he's going to be a pest through the whole video, but that's just the way it goes with a cat, a barn cat, especially one that's as lovable as Martin is. But anyway, okay, so let's go down the path of why it's taking me so long. Okay, first of all, so you got a 6x6 here. 6x6 starts out as a tree on my timber lot. You've seen my timber lot if you're following along on the channel. And on the timber lot, I go find an appropriate tree. Now, this tree is this 6x6 is probably the last one that I cut down for excavation for the new off-grid cabin. And so you get a tree, you fall it. So in my case, I probably fell 3 trees on that day. You fall 3 trees. Well, now you got a bucket because my tractor, you've seen my tractor won't haul a full length tree. So I bucked them at 10'3" to 10'6". This one's 10'3" right now. And then you haul it down with the tractor and you get it down to the sawmill. Portable sawmill, you've seen on my channel. And so then you got a 10'3" chunk. You haul, in my case it was 9 logs, so that's part of it, most of a day, hauling logs from up here where the excavation site was down to where the sawmill is. And then you spend part of a day cutting them into 6x6s, and then you get the tractor, bring them up, put them on the sawhorse. Now I've done this on this project a lot, but you bring them up here, you set them here, and then you cut them down, and then after you cut them down, then you can actually start building the structure. All that labor, which I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that's what's taking place. And all that labor took place to get this 6x6 right here. It's not a case where I go to a box store and buy a 6x6. These 6x6s came off of my timber lot, went through my sawmill, and now they're on the sawhorse, which now I'm going to cut this down, and you'll see me cut that down, and I will try to explain in more detail on how to do it, because one of the subscribers, and I respect the subscribers when they leave a comment. One of the subscribers says, okay, you're jumping too far ahead. And the reason I was doing that is because I just assume that the general audience knows what I'm doing. And I've come to the conclusion you don't have the same experience that I have. So I'm going to try and narrow that down. Now you'll see a workbench right in front of me, kind of a workbench which I have on my channel if you go back and look. I'm going to link some of these tools that I show you as I go along on this video in my description. So if you're so inclined to go back and look on my description, it'd be in long form, but in any case, I will show some of these and I will highlight those as I go along, like the skill saw, the chisel set, more than likely. Now, not this Sawzall, but the because the Sawzall I've had for like a long time. But at least the skill saw and the chisel set. Now, I'll probably link this book. This is the book that I'm using for timber frame. Now remember, all of this project is around timber frame, and maybe someday in the future I will actually go back to a standard frame building. I don't know that to be the case, but okay. So 6x6, we got a 6x6. I know the 6x6 need to be about 10 and 1/4 inches long, because out on the off-grid cabin, I've already measured it, and we'll have a video on how I concluded what the length was at a later date. But anyway, this 6x6 need to be 10 foot and 1/4 inch long. The problem is that this end, the end be on your right, is not square. I just took a chainsaw and I bucked this. When I dropped this tree, I bucked this. This is not square. So I can't take this 6x6 and measure this way, because this end is I call it the ferro end, long end, whatever it is. Because I don't have a square end on that end. So the first thing I'll do is take that skill saw. I've got put my earplugs in, put my safety glasses on, and cut that to square. Narrow, I mean within 1/4 of an inch, or whatever it takes to make this square, but I can see it's not square. I need this end to be square first before I cut lengthwise. So let's work on that. We're going to work on that first. I might spin the camera just a little bit so you can see me working on this end. I'll get around the face of it. I'll actually take a couple tools. Standard square. Standard, they call it a framing square, but just carpenter pencil. Now these I'm not going to link because everybody can figure out this. I don't take a long framing square. I usually use a standard square and a standard. Sometimes I use a marker, but remember, I just brought that up from the sawmill. If you go back to the previous video, which I'll link up here in the corner, excuse me, Martin again. And then I'm going to figure out, but sometimes I mark it with just a felt marker, felt pen, but that's green enough or wet enough that this won't show very well. So I'll use a framing pencil. Okay, so all I'm going to do, first of all, let me say hello to Martin. And then I'm going to spin you a little bit. Okay, so I've got you spun a little bit so you can see. I'm going to go around the back side of this 6x6. And if you're interested in these sawhorses, I have a video. Go back on my playlist, find the video. And they were just something to get me going, get me working. And I'm just going to take this. And I'm trying to square this end off. So it looks like I'm taking about maybe 3/8 of an inch off this end. Now remember, this 6x6, see how many times it took me to actually mark that because it's green? This 6x6 is 10'3", I know that already. And I only need 10 foot 1/4 of an inch off the 6x6 for my building. And I'm gonna throw 2 marks. I got one on the face, the upper portion, and then I got one on the side. Probably do one on my side too, but I got one towards the camera. And then I'm going to throw one on my side because I'm going to need to spin this. And then once I cut this off, I may show you how out of plumb or out of square this piece is after I get started. Let me get that saw. I'm going to leave the framing square here, which I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to put another earplug in. I might untangle these cords. Just a skill saw I like. And let me go over that. I like this skill saw. Worm drive, major worm drive, 7 1/4. I've had for a lot of years, 20 years or so. But this skill saw gets too heavy on me. Say hello to Martin. Skill saw gets too heavy on me. So I'd rather use the smaller skill saw for this little project I got. But the one thing I need to do is see how that fence on this is only showing maybe 1.25 inches. I need it to be showing more than that cut through this. So I'm going to change that like that. And now it should be showing maybe 2.25. I'll take this over and set it up. Okay, so now I'm ready to cut this end off, to flush it off. But if, in my case, I'm right-handed, if I show the picture or the video cutting this off, I got to cut it left-handed. So you have to excuse me for a minute because I got to spin around so I can actually do it right-handed. Get my glasses on. They're just the clear glasses, safety glasses. Bring the fence over. See what I got to see. Okay, that's the first cut. Say hello to Martin. Move my tape measure. Bring it up this way and spin it. I remember when I first did it, I marked all 3 sides. And I've only taken a cut off the face so far. Take the square. Okay, I got to spin that. But actually, in my case, since I don't have a major beam saw, which I don't promote you buy one because they're terribly expensive, just for a small project. If you're going to do this all full time, then yes, you probably would. One more spin. Now this is extremely heavy because it's green. Part of the reason I brought it up the barn is to start getting it to dry out a little bit. This got a mark on it from my previous. Okay, so that's cut down. Frame square, skill saw. Make sure I'm plugged in. I am. Take the sawzall and cut the rest of that off. Okay, so that's pretty square now, and I told you I'd show you, and this is the piece that I cut off to make it square. You can see that, that's the amount that I cut off to make it square. Okay, so, and I guess there's something in that. I don't throw this away, this little piece. I throw this in the compost pile. All these shavings, all these pieces, I sweep up and take with the wheelbarrow down the hill. I have a compost pile down the hill, and this goes in compost for next spring. But for now, I'll just pitch it in the corner. Okay, so now I need a piece that is 10 foot. Now this end is square, 10 foot and 1/4. Actually, this part I can show you. Doesn't matter if I'm right-handed or left-handed on this portion of it. I gotta get around some of this debris from previous posts that I've made. I need this 10 1/4. 9, 10, and 1/4. And I'm just putting a witness mark on that 10 1/4. Okay? And then I'm going to come back and get that carpenter square, or the speed square, and square that off, and then I'll take that skill saw. Now on this skill saw, on this portion of it, I should be able to do it with you being able to see it. And I'm going to set that saw over here so that I don't have to come back and forth. Looks pretty square on the end. Got a witness mark down here. Now I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but see how this is actually, this was the butt cut. That's it. I know that because all of those flared pieces. Put a mark right there. Just like I did before. A couple marks. Got that done. I'm going to set this on one of these stoves. They were themed in the previous video. Actually, I'll take the speed square with me. Put an earplug back in, put some safety glasses on, cut that to length. I'll actually put 2 earplugs in. That's better. That didn't work out so good. I missed the mark. I was cutting off the wrong mark. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I got to bring this to the end, pick it up, bring it to the end of the sawhorses, like that, and then roll it back. Mark right there. Kind of line it up a little bit. That'll work. Bring it back a little bit. And again, so it's on the center of the horses a little bit. Okay, so I know there's a mark. See, there's a mark right here. And I need to bring that mark down because I don't know the 2 marks, and then join the 2 marks together on the face. So I'll cut this, spin it one more time, cut this piece off, and then show it to you. Okay, so now I got a mark on 3 sides. I carry the mark in the front. Yes. But see how this face has that radius? It's got some Wayne wood on it, and this face over here is square. So I'm gonna come off this side. Square it up with the square. I'll get a sawzall, and then I'll cut that off with the sawzall. There's some material still holding it, but not very much. Set it and cut. Put that off. Okay, so that's 6x6 now. Let's cut the length the way I want it. And I'll probably conclude this video because next is cutting I got to cut down a 6x6, I'm sorry, 3x3 joint on both ends of that 6x6. But that's what I wanted to show you today, and thank you. Have a good day.